Hello, my name is Margeaux Spring and I just completed the Code Louisville Front-End Developer track. Over the past 4 weeks, in addition to our Treehouse curriculum, we were asked to create a project, which I've done and I would like to share with you now. Here is my project. It is live on corporateabstract.com. I set up the hosting for the client and all of her email accounts. I built the site using Bootstrap's latest iteration, and here you can see Bootstrap's Jumbotron. We have a link to the contact page, link to the gallery page. Here is the main content area with some SVG images in here and some quotes that the client wanted to include. Down here we have a panel area that has a link to her email sign up, which is through MailChimp, and her social media links to Twitter and one to Instagram. Down here we have the footer, and we have her SVG animated logo, which I made. It was the first time I'd ever done anything like this, and it ended up being my favorite part of the project. The site is fully responsive. You can see when we scale it down to mobile that the hamburger menu appears with the links. And that in the Jumbotron, the picture disappears on the mobile view, and the pictures in the main content area are hidden on the mobile view. Everything else is in here. Let's scale it back up and take a look at the gallery page. Currently in the gallery we have just one artist featured. Here is the artist profile picture. Here is a link to contact the gallery via email, contact the artist via email, artist statement. Down here we have the gallery of some of the artist's work. I used the jQuery masonry plugin for this gallery to get the masonry brick like layout. It is fully responsive. You can see I also used the modal lightbox plugin for this feature. You can see you can close, and then when you scale it back up, let me show you how it works. It works just as well. You can see the title of the work, the medium of the work, and then the size of the work. Eventually, probably in this area, we're going to have pricing of the work and the ability to purchase any of the works once we decide what e-commerce solution she wants to use. And then again, the panel area and the logo area. All right, let's go to the contact page. The contact page is your pretty basic contact page. It's got a link to call the gallery or email the gallery. And when you click on this button, you can indeed call. We're not going to do that right now, though. You can email the gallery here. This button opens up your email composer, whatever one you have set up on your system. And then again, the panel area and the logo and footer. Again, this is responsive. In the Jumbotron, the picture disappears when we scale down. And when we scale back up, it reappears. And that is my project. We'll be taking a look at the code view next. Okay, here we have the code view of my project. We're going to start with the application CSS file. In the actual project, on my GitHub account, we have this file is minified and sassed. So we'll take a look here. These are the heading tags, styling for those. styling for paragraph, styling for link, nav bar text styling. Here is some styling for the SVG animated logo. The font family that we used was the Del Sans for that logo font. An interesting thing is that in order to make the font render and look like a Del Sans in Firefox, I had to do an outline in Illustrator of the logo text, which I'll show you when we get to the index pages. Here is the animation for the logo, the building. I had to add the WebKit browser vendor prefixes for the WebKit browsers to get the animation to appear in WebKit browsers. Apparently the next version of Safari will not require the WebKit vendor prefix, is what I've read, so we'll see about that. Here you see some of the keyframes for the animation. The WebKit prefix I had to add to the keyframes as well to get it to appear. Here's the styling for the Jumbotron. Just styling for the main image in the Jumbotron. Here is the styling for the artist profile pic. Panel styling. Feature paragraph stylings. Here is some of the styling for the white box modal. And media query for the Jumbotron feature copy. Media query for responsiveness sizing with the navbar logo Jumbotron. And button stylings down here. Here's the styling for the main logo, which is at the top in the navbar. And here's the styling for the feature icons, which are in the main content. This is the method I use to position them on the page. And that is the app CSS file. Let's take a look at the homepage code. Alright, up here at the top you have your basic meta tags. This one for responsiveness. We have link to the Bootstrap CDN for Font Awesome. That's how I got the Live Long and Prosper Spock icon on her email button. And then we have a link to the Bootstrap. I did a custom build of Bootstrap for colors for her site, and it's a link to that styling there, and then a link to the app CSS style. Here's the shim for some versions of IE, Internet Explorer, which is there because that's the only way you can get some things to render correctly in IE. Here is the code for the navbar. Pretty basic stuff. Here's the code for the Jumbotron, and you can see here in the Jumbotron where we ask for the main picture to be hidden when we size it down to a mobile, extra small mobile screen. Here is the main content. Again, the images are hidden right here on the extra small screen. And we have columns for the grid. Here is the panel, which is where we have her social links and her link to her MailChimp sign-up form. You can see in here the Font Awesome tags. In case you guys were wondering which one was the Spock hand, it's this one. Right here we have the footer, and we have the animated logo, which starts, it's an inline SVG animation. It starts right here. We start with the building, and then we have the paths for the letters, which, like I said, we outlined them to make them render correctly in Firefox. Outlined them in Illustrator. Down here is copyright, and at the very bottom, best practice, I have my JavaScript tags. It helps with speedier loading to put them at the bottom. And I link to Google's version of jQuery. And then I have also linked to Bootstrap CDN JavaScript file to help my page load faster. Let's take a look at the gallery page next. The gallery page has all of the basic stuff that the other pages have that we just looked at on the index page. The only difference is that there is a separate CSS file, a link up here in the top to the styling for the masonry plugin. I had to mess with that a little bit. And navbar, jumbotron with the artist's picture, which is hidden on the extra small screen. And here we have the masonry gallery. It's the HTML for that particular area of the page. You can see this is the main grid, and then we have each of the individual items on here. We have alt tags on every single image to help with accessibility. And you can see there's quite a few of those images here in the gallery. Down here we have the modal, or the lightbox code, which calls the, you can see right here, that close button, your modal body, modal content. And after the gallery we have the panel. Again, the panel has all her social media and her newsletter link, the footer, and the SVG animated logo again. And then down here at the bottom we have some more code that is strictly for the modal. It basically tells the modal what to do. Here you have the close button, one close, that's the X close button. Then that is the actual button. And down here again there's the link to Google's jQuery, Bootstrap's CDN JavaScript, and then we have the masonry JavaScript, which has been minified, and then one extra tag down here is the JavaScript for the lightbox or boot modal, which I had to tweak a little bit as I did the masonry plugin a little bit just to get it to work the way I wanted it to on this project. Okay, let's take a look at the contact. The contact page is all your same basic boilerplate as the other two pages. Really the only difference is in the Jumbotron, you know, the buttons are different. You know, the links to the buttons are different. Here you have a link to call the gallery right here. And then to mail. Images again hidden when it's sized down to mobile size. Panel area with her social links and her email sign up link. Footer, SVG animated logo, and copyright. And then this page just has the link to Google's jQuery and Bootstrap CDN. Alright, let me show you the boot modal. This is the basic boot modal plugin for the lightbox. The only thing I really had to tweak on it was this area right here. I had to add just so I could make the title appear. Right out of the box there was nothing with the title. So that is the code view for my project. And thank you for taking a look at it. So the next steps for my project will be adding more artists to the site and building out a database to warehouse all the artists' information. And to further those goals, I will be continuing with Code Louisville, this time on a back-end developer track studying PHP. Again, my name is Margeaux Spring, and thank you so much for taking the time to look at my project.